You are welcome to LFN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. The secrecy in R. Kelly's case started even before the commencement of the New York federal trial. Both media and journalists were not allowed access to the courtroom where prosecutors laid out their racketeering case against the R&B King. Less than a month before the August 18th trial, Judge Ann Donnelly had already started off securing the courtroom from the public, and she also declared that the jurors were to be seated in the main court gallery in order to meet social distancing recommendations. She added that the media personnel could not share this space with the jurors, as this could risk them contracting COVID-19. What shocked the journalists as ironic, however, is that despite Ann Donnelly's excuse of COVID-19 to keep the media out of the courtroom, she did not require that all the jurors be vaccinated, something you would expect of a health freak she was proving to be by her prior decision to distance. Donnelly's priority demand for privacy during this trial appeared a little unrealistic and in excess, and became a huge obstacle for journalists who were interested in covering the trial, as they couldn't see important pieces of evidence that were arraigned before court by the prosecution, and couldn't see jurors' reactions to the various testimonies as they were made. This is very important information in a case trial and should therefore have been made available to be seen clearly by the public. The journalists who could have made this possible were instead placed in a courtroom 2 floors away from where Kelly's trial was taking place, and denied the opportunity to voice out their concerns in real time. A trial this private had never been seen before. Even during the most private trials prior to this one, jurors and their reactions are usually seen clearly by the public. In fact, Roger Caniff, a former prosecutor who focused on cases involving sex abuse, said, in his 25 years of practice, he had never seen a jury completely blocked from the public like this one. According to Caniff, even in the most heated, emotional and high-profile cases, the right to a speedy and public trial should never be denied. It is so unusual for a judge to prevent the jury from being seen at all like Ann Donnelly did, he said. While R. Kelly's legal team, the prosecutors and the jury filed into the courtroom every day of the trial, the media and journalists were whisked into 2 different courtrooms on a different floor of the building. Only 2 screens transmitting form cameras in the courtroom, with a broad view of the main court gallery, were available for them to listen to muffled voices, and to watch blurred pictures seemingly filmed from afar. The sizes of the faces viewable on the screens were close to a quarter the proper sizes one would have expected to see from a proper footage. According to one reporter, it was very difficult to see if the witnesses were emotional or not while on the stand. Evidence which appeared to be placed on a black box-like surface appeared on a small screen that made it hard to observe. There was therefore no way for the media to criticize and comment about these various pieces of evidence. The only view of the jurors the media reporters could see was a brief glimpse of their heads at the bottom of the screens, as they filed into and out of the courtroom. Even if you knew any of them in person, it would be difficult to recognize them, shrouded as the picture was. They were completely cropped out of the images on the screens for the most part of the trial. It was therefore impossible to see their reactions as the testimonies were being made. Something rather important to tell how they were feeling, and what their position was regarding the trial. No wonder the New York verdict came as a surprise to many, because there was no way to tell where the jury stood regarding the case, with their faces hidden out of sight. One may wonder why Judge Ann Donnelly would have desired to have so much privacy to this extent throughout the trial. No wonder many people are still not satisfied with the outcomes of this infamous proceeding. The privacy maintained was way beyond necessary. As if that was not enough, Ann Donnelly ruled that the media should listen to redacted volumes of some audio files from certain recordings. It was only after media wrote to court and published a story about this that prosecutors also allowed journalists to listen to audio-only versions of some of the evidence they presented. The desire for secrecy was just too much that it caused a lot of concern to the public. Donnelly only allowed a few members of the media into the courtroom during the conviction hearing, only to listen to her deliver the guilty verdict. But for weeks, multiple witnesses testified about a culture of threats and coercion from the R&B King, and the public never got even a single chance to see for themselves any evidence in this regard. Something very important in a credible justice system. If this information is kept completely private, the world will never know whether everything was a hoax or not. According to Kamajalo Varashka, I am sure all this information was kept private so that we remain convinced that R. Kelly is actually guilty. But the good news is that God is doing his job now, and trust me, they will all come forward and say the truth that they've lied about R. Kelly. Please let's keep on keeping Robert Kelly on our prayers day and night. The truth is coming out. Things are changing very fast. It started with Kelly's brother, but eventually all of them will come forward. I think appellate court judges will see that something is wrong here and put things right. We love you, R. Kelly. According to DJH, that judge is such a feminist, and she needs to be checked herself. She ignored everything presented to her, and there is no way R. Kelly should have even been locked up as long as he has. All real evidence has been ignored and denied. This has been a witch hunt on R. Kelly from day one. It started with him asking for his masters, then all the other BS came in. According to Robin McQueen, so much to doubt about a very private trial like this one. I am so glad to hear that R. Kelly is finally getting his chance to appeal the charges against him, and those who did him injustice should be in jail too. It's not possible that so many people withstand the abuse described at trial for so many years. Something simply doesn't add up. It was likely all about the lifestyle that R. Kelly had and was living, so they wanted the same as well, but it didn't go their way, so they decided to make stuff look and sound bad for R. Kelly. If you wish to take part in a live interview discussing any of these topics, let us know by sending an email to sashalfnmedia@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.